This is my 3D printer, and today I'll be making a stand to support the printer as well as the filament and additional supplies. I decided to make the stand out of aluminum extrusion with two wooden shelves. The middle shelf will hold cleaning supplies and tools, and I designed the lower section to hold both the filament boxes as well as the individual spools. After buying all the aluminum extrusion, I needed to cut everything to length. I first marked out all the lengths I needed and then used an aluminum cutting blade on a miter saw to make all the cuts. Once everything was cut to length, the next step was to tap the ends of all the horizontal extrusions to allow me to thread in the bolts. Since this is all 20mm extrusion, I used an M5 tap by hand to create the threads in the ends of the beams. Once everything was tapped, the next step was to drill the access holes. These holes give me access to tighten the bolts that will hold all the structure together. To help with drilling, I 3D printed some drill blocks and pressed in some drill bushings. This will keep the drill bit both perpendicular and centered within the extrusion. Another benefit of the drill blocks is that it will help me position the holes off the end of the extrusions without the need to measure or mark anything. I can also slide the drill block anywhere along the length of the extrusion to drill the holes in the middle of the beams. Once the drill block is clamped into place, it's ready to be drilled. With all the drilling complete, I was ready to start with assembly. I'm using M5 bolts with these T-slot fittings to secure everything together. The bolts get threaded into the ends of all the horizontal beams that I tapped earlier. You can see the access holes that I drilled in this part. This allows me to insert an Allen key through the hole and tighten these two parts together. I then repeat this method to fully assemble the entire structure. With the main structure assembled, I then cut the shelves out of a sheet of 1/4-inch MDF. The middle shelf had to be notched to fit around the front posts. I made 2 quick cuts on the jigsaw to allow it to fit into place. The notches actually prevent the middle shelf from moving once it's dropped into position. However, the top shelf would need holes to be bolted in place. I used flush head fasteners and countersunk the MDF to prevent anything from interfering with the 3D printer. With everything drilled and countersunk, I sanded the shelves and applied 2 coats of polyurethane. This helps darken the MDF to make it look a little nicer and will also provide some protection to the wood. Once the polyurethane had fully cured, I bolted on the top shelf and the stand was complete. The bottom shelf is able to hold 6 spools of filament, either boxed or unboxed, and the middle shelf has plenty of room for cleaning supplies and any tools I need. Overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'll include some links below to where I bought material. Thank you for watching.